But I'm looking at it, I'm going, how is this guy about my age at the time, about my age or a little bit younger than me, and generating so many properties? And I was like, all right, cool. That year, I went out and I bought 3 houses.
It's a critical element of property.
Yeah.
You can have all the properties in the world, but you got loads of headaches.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand that. They're just like, oh, I'm chasing the bag. And again, they're just doing hundreds of low-level tasks that don't actually generate them more profit.
And obviously, like you said, when you have that peace of mind, it forces it, like you can actually become more sort of creative. Your mind is more open to new ideas, new things. So it's important to have that peace of mind as well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm learning anyway.
Yeah, so I got the first one in Wickham, and then I remember, I think it was like 2015. I went to this property event, and I had about 3 or 4 properties at the time. Went to this property event, and I saw this young guy on stage. He looked no older than 30, skinny guy, and I'm this guy's showing us all his like holidays and all his like luscious house and all this sort of stuff, and he's telling me that, talking about how many properties he's got and this, that, and the other, and the seminar was rubbish. But I'm looking at it, I'm going, how is this guy about my age at the time, about my age or a little bit younger than me, and generating so many properties? And I was like, all right, cool. That year, I went out and I bought 3 houses. Yeah. So that when you talk about mindset, that activity there of just getting out of my comfort zone and going to that event, that just shifted my mindset. Yeah. I said, I need to get a new normal. Why does he have more properties than me? I'm not having that. That's disrespectful. This skinny guy with no swag got more properties than me. Nah, bro, I'm not having that, bro. Come on. No swag, bro.
Real talk, yeah. I feel like one of the things why, I mean, there's loads of reasons why we started the platform and stuff like that. But one of the reasons why is because, I wanted to piss off some people. I want my friends that grew up me to be like, I was buying properties and I ain't bought properties. I want to get more as well.
You want to make them start to think like.
The reason why I bought my first property because my cousin who does the podcast with me bought property. He was I think at that point he had his second one. Mm-hmm. And then my brother bought 2 and I said, what's going on? Why is everyone buying properties around me? I ain't getting involved. I don't care how old I am. I said, you're so right, the new normal. When you see people around you doing it, it's like, I can't not be doing it.
It's like, why would you not?
Yeah, like, why would, am I wasting, man? Like, man, I can't buy like 1 or 2 yards. And then you just carry on. And you realize when you're around other people that have got, they're not got 1 or 2, they got 5 or 10. Yeah. And you're like, what did you do? Like, how did you do? Then do you know what I mean? Like, it's that new normal, constantly pushing that boundary. Do you know what I'm saying?
And it's discipline, man. A lot of people think that, you need a lot of money to invest in property. Like, no, you don't. You don't. Just get going and get started.
Yeah. So go for it.
Yeah. So just gonna ask, like, what keeps you going in a sense of right now, like, you've made it in a sense of like, to most people looking in, they would say, all right, he's made it. So what keeps you going in a sense of like still educating people to also, think the right way or to get that freedom, the financial freedom? What keeps you going to do that?
I'll give you one word and I'll give you the background to the word. The word is impact. I'm not physiologically comfortable until I make an impact. So I told you I ran a teaching company, right? Educating loads of kids every week. What drove me to do that business? Because I love making impact. I love helping people. So the story behind that is when I sold my business, I was like, yes, I've made it. I'm done. And then, I went on a nice holiday with the missus and that, came back, chilled out for about 30 days. And I was like, all right, I need to create something.
People say that,
Listen,
people say that.
You can't just be lazy and do nothing.
No, you said, sorry. Someone said it to me the other day, like, you can't go through the agony of learning how to do that business, pushing yourself, learning new things, learning how to be a great businessman, learning about money, to then just let it go and not use those skills every day. Like, it don't even make sense.
You got to pass it on. You got to help people. And that's what I love to do, is to help people move from where they are to where they want to be, man. Because like, that's the biggest joy, is seeing other people win, seeing other people thrive. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I wanted to finish off your property journey quickly. So just, if you can tell us more about how you funded them, what kind of strategies you use, and then we'll get into the last section, which is just tips and then just mindset. Yeah. But what were some of the later deals you did? Like, how did you fund them? And what kind of deals were there as well? Yeah,
so all of my property deals were funded through business activity, effectively. So growing the income, putting some aside, and then just investing it in the property. Latest one I bought was in 2019, so 3 years ago. That year I bought 3 properties as well. I was like, I'm going hard, man. I ain't messing about. or hard at least, what I perceived was hard at the time. Bought 3 properties that year. One was in Birmingham. One was the house that I live in now, and another one was in.
That house, it's in the house, bro.
Yeah, listen. When I saw you sweep into the little vacuum thing, I didn't even know things like that existed.
I saw this guy. He did a link up at his house. I was thinking, fam, I wanted to get the invite, bro. Like, I saw Devin. I said, Devin, you couldn't even bring me in, bro. Like,
Listen,
it's 1 million. I'm gonna be at the next one, right?
Love it, man. Love it. Come through, man.
no, but when I saw that like what a actual smart home looks like, yeah.
And that's the thing, man. It's like, make it the new normal. Do you know what I mean? Like, just make it your standard. I remember I was dating one girl back in the day, like, and she was like, oh yeah, Trevor Nelson lives over there, blah 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 blah. I was like, one day, I was about 25 at the time. I was like, one day, I'm gonna get a house like that. And she said, yeah, make it your new normal. Mine starts going to work, and then when I saw the house that I live in now, I was like, I didn't even have the money for it at the time. Like, I didn't have no money. I just went to check it out the same way I went to check out the Bentayga. Like, one of the guys that I was living with, my lodger at the time, I just said, do you want to go check out this property? He was like, yeah. Drove down there just for a cruise, just for a casual look. Maybe I'll buy something like this in 5 years. You know, that kind of attitude. I saw the house and I was like, I need this now. I saw the man just put his thumbprint on the door and the door opened, and I was like, yo, listen, let me create whatever it is that I need to create in order to get this house.
Let's make a promise. Next interview we do, Jazz, is at his house. We're not doing it here.
Please.
I'm sorry, this is the same quality as you used to. But nah, next episode we can do it. Yeah. But so was it just mainly just business activity? Did you refinance at all to fund some of these deals as well? Did you joint venture at all as well? Or
no, I've never done a joint venture. So yeah, refinancing the properties and obviously business activity as well.
Yeah,
amazing. And just to kind of go into the last section, we want to leave with some some good money and mindset tips
about being financially free.
Financially savvy. And one thing you mentioned from another interview that I watched was this idea that it's fuzzy, so you have to help me explain it and stuff. But I think the person asked, like, how do you figure out your financial freedom number? And you went through a formula of describing it. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. So people understand that what's actually the target.
Wait. So just to clarify, are you saying like how much do you need to say, okay, I'm financially free?
Yeah.
So you take your annual expenses, and it's amazing that most people don't know. It's amazing. It's like we just go through the whole of our lives not being taught this stuff, right? So yeah, you take your annual expenses, you multiply that by 25, and that will give you a freedom number.
Well, how did you work that out? Like, as in just in general.
So let's take, if you spend on to like live, your basic living cost is 20,000. You multiply that by 25. That's 500,000. Once you hit 500,000, the market grows at an average rate of 10%. Take away an average of 3% for inflation, and then if you take away 4%, right? Then 4% is what you actually earned in the first place, what you actually needed in the first place. That's 20,000. So 4% of 500,000 is 20,000, and then that means 7 minus 3. You still got 3% growing. So that's the way that you think about it. So the other way to think about it is, okay, so if you need £20,000 a year to live, how much is that a month? And then create that passively per month.
It's almost like working backwards, that we don't think about. Because when you hear that question, you think, okay, there's a fat lump sum, and then that will sort out all of my things and then some. But when you actually work it out, what's the figure that will make you financially free? I don't think a lot of people know that. I didn't even work that out. I haven't worked that out yet.
And then you can figure out, like, each month, what do I need to make, passively or actively, in order to kind of replace that. Do you know what I'm saying? It makes it, because humans, we only work towards goals. We can't really work towards ambiguous numbers.
I think me personally as well, like after today, I'm thinking my annual salary, what I've made, how can I make that monthly? That's what I'm on now. That's what I'm on now. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm on.
That financial freedom number. Maybe figuring out a financial abundance number for me. And then, like you said, like what I'm earning a year, how can I make it a month?
And you know what's crazy? Like, every single number that you write down, that you focus on and you pay attention to every day, you're going to create it.
No, facts. Facts. You know what's so crazy? The other day, you can see my phone, I've got mood board, right?
Yeah.
Of like different stuff. I made this like 2-3 years ago, and I didn't want to change it. I just couldn't be asked to change it. And I swear to you, the other day I looked at it, I said, I've achieved like everything there,
It's crazy,
so
isn't
it wasn't like I even tried to like.
Yeah.
It's just what you're looking at every single day, consistently
it just happens. And
working
like,
towards.
So that thing definitely plays a part. And I feel like if you have a number, an actual number you work towards, I feel like naturally you find more opportunities, you find different stuff. You know what I'm saying? So 100%. But
sorry, just going back, like can you give some of our listeners tips on how to be financially free in this modern day?
2022.
The first thing that's so crucial is to know and pay attention to your investment ratio. Most people have no idea what that is. And that is like, what percentage of your income are you investing every single month? Once you know that number and you say, okay, right now it's 10%. Okay, you're at the beginning level. It's fine. Now you need to start to raise it by 2 to 3% every month. Play a little game with yourself. I remember doing this, and by the time I got to 50, it's like once you get to 50%, that's when you know that you're doing good stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? And there's two caveats to it. Is if you want to go from 10% investment ratio to invest in 50% of your income every month, is either you're a lavish spender and you can just like cut back, but for most people, you're going to need to create a lot more income. So you're going to find ways to create income and just play little games with yourself to find creative ways to generate more cash flow by using the skill sets that you already have. And then use that cash flow, not to go straight away and buy the Bentley, right? That will come, right? But to use that cash flow then to improve your investment ratio, and then you let the assets pay for the liabilities.
I like the fact that I like the way you have thresholds for your goals.
Yes,
that's something that I think that's something that I picked up for you more than everything. Like, you can get everything you want to get, but you know, one trouble I had personally, for example, was like I do different things in property, for example. But for like, let's say from the source and stuff, I'll be like, you know, I'm making good money this month, but with that money now, I want to go and do something with it. But he's like, the way Jazz teaches, like, you need to get to a certain threshold before you get to that stuff. So you need to make, let's say 10K for 3 months consistently before you get that thing. Instead of just having a good month and going, cool, I get that thing.
Right.
Have that threshold that actually goes dictates
deferred gratification too. There's an element of that.
It's a target before you actually practically say you can do that. So that's something I learned from you. I think is very, very key. There was another thing I learned. But it's slipped my mind. What was I thinking? It was
we'll come back to
I got it. Basically what it was is I wanted to ask you, obviously you spent the majority of the first part of your career creating a business, £3 million, amazing. You then sold it, invested a lot of it into property. Why have you chosen now to go down stocks? Because I think stocks is where you're focusing at the moment. What was that shift, and you know, why are you now focused on you know, that kind of side of stuff to grow wealth?
Yeah, it wasn't so much of a shift, but more of a understanding about the importance of diversification. So when I was coming up in this game in my 20s, I had all of my cash invested in the bricks, right? And I had all of my, so effectively I never had no money, which was good in some ways because it didn't allow me to splash on things that I didn't want, need, or desire. But the downside of that is, you know, especially as you start to grow multiple properties, etc., you need liquid cash flow. So you need to have that diversification so that you've got liquid cash and you've got the physical assets of property as well. Again, it's like a threshold, right? So someone might say to themselves, okay, once I get to this amount of properties, or once I get to $5,000 a month passively in property or whatever, then I'm going to start creating a little bit of liquid cash flow. So I've got something else to back me up as well for the long term. So yeah,
100%. And where are you trying to take the stuff that you're doing online? Obviously, you're a content creator as well.
No, wait.
Oh.
We still got the tips. We're still going through
tips
on
tips.
financial freedom.
That's a very powerful question though, as well. I can. Yeah.
Oh, what, that we're gonna come back to?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So tell us, like, maybe one more tip, like just on financial freedom that people listening can, you know, take that nugget and actually apply.
I would say the second thing to really focus on and pay attention to is your net worth. You see, most people pay attention to their income, but they don't pay attention to what their income is creating for them. So you've got to know, what is your net worth right now? What's your assets? Take away your liabilities. Because then once you know where you're at and you know what your freedom number is, then you know, okay, this is the distance that I need to go. So on a money tracker, that's where you see it. It's like, it shows you what your freedom number is based upon your expenses. And then it shows you where you are right now. And then it shows you the gap. Yeah. So it's like, all right, cool. This is what we're working towards. This is what we're creating. This is what I'm actually working for. All right, cool. Let's go get the bag. Let's go get it.
Now life can start.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No, man. I'll just cap that off by saying, look, if you don't know this stuff, you won't grow. You just won't. You're just gonna keep on end up going round in circles. You'll make more money. You'll spend more money, and then you'll just have an average life for the rest of your life.
Where would you say it's been the best resource for you to learn this stuff? Has it been books? Has it been friendships? Has it been relationships? Like what's been?
All of the above, man. All of the above, man. Like investing in myself, like making sure that I'm learning from mentors, learning from guides, learning from friends. Like every conversation that I have is a growth orientated conversation, man. Like
That's amazing.
Yeah. I only have growth orientated conversations with people that are going to help me to elevate in some way, shape or form. And I always say, whenever I'm in a room, I'm either learning or I'm teaching. If I'm not doing any of them things, I'm not in that room for more than 20 minutes.
Word.
It's facts. I'm just taking it all in like a sponge.
So just to end off, like where you trying to take this stuff, like where does Jazz Rose want to see himself at 40? Because you mentioned the word 40s. Where do you see yourself at 40 or 50?
Yeah, one of the things that I'm going to do along that journey is I'm going to help 1,000 people to double their income.
That is amazing. Like you have a
Thresholds,
goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, man. So it's about helping the people because once they start learning how to do that, everything else starts to become easy.
And I want to be one of those people.
I'm involved.
Bentayga.
Do you want to plug, some of your socials and your platforms as well?
Yeah, sure. You can add me on at Mr. Jazz Rose on Instagram. Same on YouTube. Just type in Mr. Jazz Rose and you'll find me there, dropping content on a regular basis for the people.
Well, Mr. Jazz Rose, thank you so much for coming on our podcast, teaching everyone, giving us gems about financial freedom. We really do appreciate your presence here, and we hope to, have you again next time, so that we can show people the smart,
the next interview is in the house, bro.
There's no more need for dustpan and brush.
We're gonna get the whole conversation, bring it to the house.
Yeah,
and we're gonna do it again.
Literally.
But yeah, man, just appreciate you. Thank you
so much
for the community and everything you're doing. We appreciate you, bro. And I just want to see you out there more, man. More events, more doing what you're doing, because I feel like you play like a vital role. It's different when our journey is about kind of documenting our way towards that place. You're already there and you're coming back, and it's like
teaching us.
Yeah, so it's like these conversations are going to be so enlightening for people, and what you're doing is very impactful. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Perfect. Appreciate it, man.
All right, guys.
All right.
Man. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay blessed. Stay invested.
Peace.
Peace.
Blessings.